first of all, really surprisingly, both South Africa and Colombia is kind of in the middle of the pack when it comes to car ownership.
Doesn't feel like
So
it.
remember, there's also another factor, which is the size of the country itself. The first weird one that really popped out to me was Taiwan.
That's an interesting one.
They are, yes, exactly. They are at number 8, and they are the first country that has more people than cars on the list. And not by much. They have 990 cars for every 1,000 people. So that's still pretty much a car per person. By far the biggest country in this top part of the list. To give you an idea, it's New Zealand at 9 and 11 is Malta. Okay, so the Americans, when it comes to car ownership, yes, they're doing pretty well.
It makes sense though.
Very small, relatively wealthy country. Yeah.
Yes, and not only that, it's very interesting because they do have public system that actually works.
This is Cosecha Salvaje, Wild Conversations, where the world and everyday ideas meet, with Tian and Vivian.
Numbers just don't lie. I realize there is a fucking, experience involved, an anecdotal experience involved. But the numbers don't lie.
I know, but I mean,
Not a.
I do understand. I don't. This makes me remember of an old boss of mine, who you might know on board that was the catchphrase. It's like numbers don't lie, but they do. They do.
They don't.
They do.
They absolutely don't.
They do.
Like,
I mean, on paper it's all fun and games, but just go out and it's wild. You might get like $1,000
no, I understand.
and
I
yes,
fully
but
understand that that's the case, and that's more and more the case. I
you
get
know,
it, but
you
that's
know what
not the
that
average.
yes, but the average is not enough. You remind me once, uh, what it was long time ago, when I first went to Argentina, and at the moment, I mean, their economy was like was not exactly in the right point. It was in the right point to go down. It was okay, but it's when the dollar started to just like blow up, you know. And the tour guide was telling us that the government was saying exactly that, like the numbers don't lie, you know. You with the minimum salary, like the minimum wage, could do like fantastic things, like minimum wage was able to give you the life of your dreams in the big city. And he said that's BS because it's not true. It's like minimum wage will get me
Look, the
by
numbers. Yes, of
train
course. I
because the
gotcha. I
numbers
gotcha.
don't
If
lie.
you have a good
Don't
enough
lie.
reason to fake the numbers, you can make the fucking numbers say whatever you want, especially if you're a little bit educated in that matter. But I mean, why? I don't know. It's a
Unfortunately,
pretty
it's yes.
benign matter. There's
Unfortunately,
no real reason why ChatGPT would lie to me over the average of I mean, I'm not saying ChatGPT won't lie to me. I
that
absolutely know it will. But about that, it just has very little reason. I mean, even if it is inflated a little bit, let's say it's
it is
inflated by
inflated.
a lot. Let's say it's inflated by 20%. We're still at $100,000.
Still, still,
I
it's
mean,
not enough because you may get the money.
$100,000 is $8,000 a month.
Yes, but not everybody gets that. That's the thing.
No, of course not everybody gets that.
Yes.
Some people get less than that, absolutely. But
Oh,
most people must get significantly more because there are people who don't get paid at all, like waiters and baristas. So
which is
most
the
people earn.
which
If
is
you're not one of those kind of entry level jobs, then you shouldn't be earning anything less than that.
but it's
If
funny
you want to
because
stay
I
in that
mean
city.
Yeah.
I mean, who the fuck?
I mean, I do understand
Not me.
that ChatGPT shouldn't have any reason to lie to you. I mean, it's all about fact. But I mean, the amount of people that I met in the big city that they need 3 jobs to actually have a more or less kind of life, it's
Yeah.
it's extremely big, you know?
Yeah. 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 No,
I mean,
this I understand. I get it. Uh,
there is,
but
sorry, but here's the big difference with the big cities, you know? Like Istanbul, you can live in the suburbs and be okay. New York, you can live in the suburbs and be okay. London, you can live in the suburbs and still be okay. Shanghai, you can live in the suburbs and be okay. What do they have all in common that Bogota doesn't have? A nice transportation system. We we are building the freaking metro just now after being promised 60 years ago. 60. I was, I mean, the year I was born,
it's worse for us. We had a metro system 60 years ago, and it's gone now. So I'm just saying.
but at least you had it. At least you had it. We were promised 60 years ago, you will have a metro in like 2 years or something, and it's been like 50. And we still don't
Yeah.
have it. We still don't have it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, uh, it's supposed to start working this year sometime, maybe.
I see.
But there is a reason why, I mean, the people who live in the suburbs or who actually live in the little villages around, like Tocancipá and, and the places really around. I mean, these people don't have a life. I met people that they actually go to work. They need to be at 8 in Bogota, so they need to leave at from home at 5, and they finish whatever work or study at 10. They get home at 1, and they sleep 3 hours to start all over again. That's literally
Yeah. You know what? Oh,
no.
Andrew Tate's Matrix theory doesn't sound so wild now, does it?
No,
That's the reality of it. It's slavery. That's what that is.
it
Slavery.
is.
That's giving
I
yourself
mean,
up for slavery.
there is a reason why
Actually,
we're
no. The
looking for
slaves
job
were
outside.
they actually fed the slaves. Sorry. Let me.
I I I do agree. I do agree. But unfortunately, Bogota is that way. We were talking today at work because I was when we were looking for prices of houses, you know, and I mean, Bogota is the second most expensive city. The first one is Medellin. So whatever price we pay for a tiny apartment here, you can double it easy in Medellin. And I bet it's
in
gonna be
Medellin.
teeny in Medellin. Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea. They just think they're important enough to charge double. I guess it's a thing. It's a matter of the foreigners giving them the extra importance that we all know, and I'm not gonna touch about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
they were
it's a
very
in all
smart.
seriousness, there's a fair chance there's quite a bit of money there just because of
Oh
where
no,
it
no,
is.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
For
what I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say. I mean, they were
yeah,
extremely
yeah.
intelligent to milk all this propaganda, and I mean, the foreigner, the average foreigner that comes to Colombia doesn't think about, oh, I'm gonna go and see Bogota.
No, I want to go to Medellin.
Exactly. There is plenty of reasons why they want to do it. Either it's drugs or plastic surgery
We're the
or
dark and one. I know it's kind of macabre and it gets a little bit old, especially for you guys. But we're the dark and wonderful species. We love the dark stuff, man. We don't
they
care. We
do.
could build a wonderful pyramid. We don't care. We want to see a Draglord mansion.
They do. They do, and they do the cocaine tours. Um,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
I
yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah. No, I know. I've seen like documentaries on this, and like, I mean, I guess from the late 1970s, early 1980s, there was this real romanticism about gangsters. It was very real, and it's very real now. Look at the New York gangsters who legitimized essentially and founded Las Vegas. These guys were super duper successful.
but there is a different thing. Like
And there was
the
like this
gangsters in the US, they had more. They were more than one, and they kind of had like a union. Colombia was this, like it had this stigma from the beginning. So this man didn't do more because he didn't have any support. In
yeah.
like in
Oh, believe
Italy,
me, you would have had some support.
no,
He
he
didn't
had
become that person without support.
no.
Okay, he
The
had a lot
story,
of support. He was getting men.
not
He
exactly.
was being hidden.
No,
Where is
no,
he?
not
I
exactly.
mean, he had a venerable army. Right?
Yes, but here's the thing. Like as soon as he would provide fun, you know, like like
Oh
the
yeah,
funny uncle, like if
of
you
course.
provide
Yeah,
me
yeah,
my
yeah,
fun,
yeah.
for sure I will give you all my support. But when he
Yeah,
wanted to
that's
run for president and he thought he had all his best friends around it, that's when shit
yeah,
happened
absolutely.
because
Yeah, yeah.
everybody said, like you're the fun uncle,
That's
but
not a
you
good
cannot
idea.
be the dad.
It's okay.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
like
We
you're
accepted the power
super
you have.
fun.
We're not gonna give you more. Okay,
Exactly.
there's a different there's a very big difference there. Okay.
And
Um,
that was when he decided, he was like, oh, so you want just the
and then
goodies.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
see. I mean, there is absolutely no excuse for doing whatever he did. There is
no,
absolutely not.
no,
But
absolutely not.
that was the beginning of it. That was like, it's like, oh, all fun and games when I provide women and drugs. Well,
Mhm.
and you don't want me to run for
I gotcha.
president, not even go to this like Senate. Well,
Yeah,
then you must suffer, and then kidnappings and everything else happen. And
yeah,
and for some reason, I mean, we had this conversation before as well. I get it. I get it. He did a lot. Yes, he made the jail he was in like a whorehouse. I understand. It was like literally a museum of women and drugs. But I mean, he made a lot of things that nobody should be able to do so. But for portraying him in the series like a charming, fun guy, that's a little off.
look, yeah, I'm not saying that that's what he was. He
Oh,
probably wasn't. He was probably quite high strung. I haven't met people like that, obviously, but I've met people adjacent to that, and I can assure you, they're not nice people.
they were not
Okay,
fun. Yes.
yeah, they're not fun. They're not fun. Um, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is essentially there are no good guys in history. Okay, nothing. No good guys, no bad guys. They were all pretty much the same. Okay, they all thought pretty much the same, and they were all pretty much wrong. If you just
Yeah.
do the basic math, like So a single person cannot survive in Bogota alone. It's not possible.
Oh no, 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 no. That is not a thing. I mean, either you earn in dollars and be okay. Like if you earn minimum wage in dollars, for sure you're fine. Not exactly great, but you're fine. But
Yeah.
minimum wage here will get you nowhere because I mean, you cannot get an apartment unless it's like really at the border of the city. That is extremely cheap, and then you will have to spend 3 hours to go and 3 hours to go back to your workplace, which is bananas. That's that.
Mhm.
I suffered my entire college years with that, and no, it's not a thing I will do. No,
Yeah, that's
there's
bad.
there's yeah, it's extremely bad,
So the
and
traffic.
I mean, I'm not sure what's worse, if the traffic or the human traffic.
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah.
I, I mean, these days that I've been back in the actual traffic, I forgot how bad it was. To be honest, I've been on peak hours. We've been on peak hours in other places, and it's not that bad. People will do their line, and that's it. Here, it's like they push you in or
Yes,
stomp you in. Oh, it is rough. It is rough. And they
and
kind
that's
of
because
expand
the
it.
system is straining because it's not designed to handle the load it's carrying.
No, no, it's terrible. Some stations are worse than others. Some stations there is like they will do the line, people will do the line, but as soon as the bus comes in, there won't be any line anymore. It's like they will go over you so they can get
Mm.
in the bus.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and no, man, no, I really like.
Again, it could be slightly worse. Here we have many buses, so even though waiting for the bus is 100% a thing, and sometimes quite long, you're more afraid of the bus going over you than the people.
How?
On that,
Wait, what?
like,
How?
we have a slightly different system. So obviously, public transport has failed, just like what you're describing to me there. So the private sector stepped in, and we have minibuses like taxis. Okay, but a taxi that's, well, it's supposed to be able to take 14 or 15 people, right?
Oh,
So you all
and
get together and you wait until the taxi is full, and then you go and they operate on routes just like a bus,
do you have a
which is
normal
actually a
taxi?
wonderful idea. Yeah, yeah, you can get a normal taxi too.
Right.
You can get a normal taxi too, but most people use these because obviously they're cheaper. It's like 20 people at a time paying for a taxi, which is actually a wonderful idea. I lived in one of the worst areas of the country. I lived in Centurion, which is kind of like it's kind of like in between Pretoria and Joburg, and there is just a, a literal ton of traffic going on all day, all night, pretty much there. And there it gets quite bad at certain times. I remember I was like 4 kilometers from work. It would take me like 45 minutes.
Wow.
Eventually, just yeah. Well, no, that's terrible. That's 45 minutes. 4 kilometers. I can run 4 kilometers in like 20 minutes.
I do understand, but
So I ended up switching back to the motorcycle, and then I was like at work in like 5 minutes.
exactly for 5 minutes because everybody got the same idea. And now the
Yeah,
problem are the traffic jam that the motorcycles cause.
I
I
see.
mean, there is no
Yeah, yeah.
solution.
Look,
There is
look,
really no
look.
solution.
From the very beginning, the road infrastructure in South Africa, it kind of had to be very good. It had to be up to a certain level because the place is big and things are far apart.
Mm.
Like maybe you can walk to a small shop, right? But if you want a mall or something, you're gonna take an Uber, a taxi, or you're gonna drive there. Most people just drive there because it's far. Because it's so far that, and you have to do it so often, that it's cheaper buying a car than it is using an Uber for your whole month's
Of course,
travel
of course,
or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
of course.
So I mean,
Uh,
the traffic
here,
is not that bad. It's terrible. I've seen much, much worse. I think Dubai has the worst traffic in the world. Right? Dubai's traffic is
to be
terrible.
fair,
Like,
I've been there, and I still resent Bogota worse. I do believe Bogota is far worse than any city I ever
Bogota is bad. Bogota is super duper bad. No, I absolutely give you guys that one. You
been. You
guys
know,
have quite a
we
traffic problem.
had, yes, we had. I'm not sure if it's still in place. I think it has some changes, but long time ago, before the system was built, the major decided that there were too many cars. Traffic jams were awful. So they decided that they would give them like not free passes, but like they won't be able to run every day. Like depends on your plates. Yes. So they divided all the plates from 0 to 9, and they will give them a specific days for run freely, and a specific days that they could not run. Yes. So if your plate was like
Right?
0 and 1, you will be only able to use your car during like the major part of the day, let's say 6 to 6. I don't remember the times well, but you can run it before or after, but not in that frame if you
In
have
the
a
block.
car.
Yeah.
Yes. And that happened. So at the
That can
beginning,
look then.
that worked for a minute, only for a
Yeah.
minute. And then the automobile industry said like, oh, this is our
We're just
greatest
gonna
chance.
make different
Yes,
number plates. Now you just have
yes,
three
and
motorcycles with
yes,
different number plates.
yes. And not only that, they said,
Stupid idea,
don't
yeah.
worry, we understand that like a car is not exactly the cheapest thing, and getting a credit is not easier. So this is what we're gonna do. Just give us your ID and we'll give you the credit, and you get your second car like this. So the problem was not solved. People was they were
It was
buying
made
cars,
worse.
of course,
It was
because
essentially they did accomplished the opposite of what they intended, which is
ex-
often a thing with governments. The
yeah,
bureaucracies are
yeah.
wonderfully incompetent at accomplishing anything.
That, that's why having a car in Bogota, it's if you want to be comfortable for 3 hours stuck in traffic while you get to your home or workplace, be your guest. You have two options: be super squished and getting where you need to go on a average time, or spend 3 lovely hours in your car going and coming back, enjoying your favorite radio station, and hopefully nobody's gonna mug you.
I see. Oh man, I wonder. You just made me think about something.
What?
Um, I want. Ah, here we go. Countries, a list of countries by car ownership. The first weird one that really popped out to me was Taiwan.
That's an interesting one.
They are, yes, exactly. They are at number 8, and they are the first country that has more people than cars on the list. And not by much. They have 990 cars for every 1,000 people. So that's still pretty much a car per person.
That's so interesting because You've been to Taiwan,
right?
right?
Yes, yes, I have.
And
And I mean, I can see it. I can see it. It doesn't feel that way because the infrastructure is obviously quite good. Uh, there's not a lot of traffic, is what I'm saying, in certain parts of Taiwan. But there is still traffic, so I can see it. I can see it. It's busy, and there's a lot of people, and it's also quite small. This is the other thing. I mean, it's got 23 million people, which is way, way more than whoever comes before them. I mean, there's 8 million cars in Taiwan.
that's
You remember there was a song like that? There is 8 million bicycles in Beijing. Yeah? Yeah, there are 8 million cars in fucking Taiwan. It's not even that big, let's be honest. You can drive around the whole place in a day. It's quite
again,
busy.
but again, Taiwan, they're not exactly poor.
No, they are not. There are areas that are quite poor in Taiwan.
Yes, but they're not.
No,
It's very
in
interesting
general,
because
they're quite
I
well.
mean there is a trend which is quite logical. These
Also, I'm
small
going to guess
places,
that most of these cars are Chinese, so they're significantly cheaper than what you might find in Europe. And that might also be a factor. Cars are probably cheaper in Taiwan than they are on
that is
average in
very
Europe.
interesting because those places you just mentioned, most of them are, like we said, they're wealthy,
Yes, yes, yes.
but they
I mean,
don't
fucking Andorra,
overpass.
Liechtenstein.
But they don't really pass what you might think a wealthy person would do. I mean,
Hmm.
we've seen the football players. I think Cristiano Ronaldo has more cars than the entire city.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. And obviously, this wouldn't take something like that into account. It's just looking at the amount of registered
They
cars
just
in the country.
ignore
Obviously,
the rich.
it's the rich people. Yes, the rich people obviously have more of these cars than the poor.
Free
That's
passes.
almost a given. Yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
20 cars from those ones, they just belong to one person. So 20 people, they
Yeah,
actually use bikes and horses.
yeah. Then the next two, number 9 and 10 on the list, no kind of surprises there. New Zealand and the States. Okay. Uh, Remarkably, there are 283 million cars in the United States. I mean, given it's a really, really big place with a lot of people who live there, by far the biggest country in this top part of the list. To give you an idea, it's New Zealand at 9 and 11 is Malta. Okay, so the Americans, when it comes to car ownership,
Malta.
yes, they're doing pretty well.
Malta. It makes sense though. It makes sense. Although
Small,
Malta has,
relatively well, very small, relatively wealthy country. Yeah, it
yes,
does
and
make
not only that, it's very interesting because they do have a public system that actually works. That. So it's not that bad. They have
yeah,
bus, they have ferry, they have everything. So it's like a car is actually a luxury if you wanna see it. You don't
yeah.
really need it. So
Fair
that's an
enough.
interesting
That is an interesting one. The next interesting one is the first South American country on the list. Coming in at
Argentina.
number 20. Nope. Guess again.
Near me or far?
You're so close. You're almost. I'm gonna give it away, but you're almost on it.
Brazil?
Uruguay.
Oh man. But then
Uruguay is doing a
again,
really
it's an expensive one.
small, wealthy country. Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes,
it's
yes.
an expensive one. It's very
Actually,
small.
actually, they slot in right in between two European countries, Estonia and Portugal,
That is
still
so
ahead of
funny.
Malaysia and Canada when it comes to car ownership.
For example, we've been to Punta del Este. I don't
Yes.
even remember seeing one bus.
No, no.
There was
It was
no.
beautiful. It's beautiful. I remember that place. It was
Yes, but
gorgeous.
there was no. I didn't see one public bus at all, besides
No,
the touristic ones. So
no. The open
you need it.
ones. Yeah,
You kind of need it,
yeah,
or you're screwed.
yeah, yeah. Beautiful country. I love that place. Anyway, um, like I say, they're doing incredibly well. They're still ahead of Portugal, Malaysia, and Canada when it comes to car ownership. Uh,
Then again,
France and Japan coming in. France and Japan coming in at 25 and 26. The Norwegians, again, small, wealthy country, at 27.
that's interesting.
Uh,
Norwegian should have more. It's in same thing as Iceland. There is like almost non-existent public transportation. They should have more cars.
but they have a very low population. And
Right.
I mean,
What about
there's
Greenland?
123 million people living in Japan and only 5 million people living in Norway. Okay. They're all old in Norway, white and liberal. Okay. So they don't own cars.
No, they have huskies. So
Yeah, exactly. They're basically neo-communists there. So they don't like cars.
what about in Greenland? I mean, they have 10 people, so they
I
run
don't know.
which place?
They haven't popped up. Uh, the
Because
UK
the
is
10
at
people,
34,
so
just
you don't need a car.
after. Yes, the UK is at 34, well, obviously, I would suspect this is England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Um, would be at number 34, just behind Germany and Thailand, and just ahead of Switzerland and Slovakia. Again, Switzerland, same thing. Yeah, like, anyway, I'll get cancelled if I say right.
That's
And then
okay.
two more tiny islands. These are Americans. I can tell you that these islands are being made rich by American tourists. It's Antigua and Barbuda, and Trinidad and
Okay.
Tobago. Okay, so those two are also really high up on the list. They're in front of Austria, Greece, and the Netherlands. Okay, so again,
So
small rich country. They
where
do
does
well on this
Colombia
list, it
rank?
seems. We're getting there. We're not even in. We're like in the middle of the pack.
So
Colombia and South Africa is like somewhere in the middle. This is still very, very high up on the car ownership
there is only
list.
152 countries. No,
We're at
it's
40
96.
something now.
Okay.
No, there's 170 something. Not a whole sure.
Well, I was
It's changing
close
every
enough.
day. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
there is a new country
Um,
every day. People want to
but
independent
to
themselves.
give you an idea, okay, there is another one. Costa Rica at 52 in Dominican Republic. In Dominican Republic, 500 cars about for every 1,000 people. So that's about
Makes
zero point
sense.
0.5 cars per person.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Public
So
transportation is not great, and distances are really far. But these car, I mean, these statistics cover motorcycle or is just car?
I think they might. Actually, that might be what's happening. Because it just says vehicles per 1,000 people.
Okay,
So I'm
okay,
not
because
exactly sure
the for
how
example,
they determine.
which kind of vehicle? Because I can say for a matter of fact, for experience, in Dominican Republic, might be one bike per person. I mean, you're
I see.
like older and you get your bike. It's the only way. It's
I see.
easier.
Okay, the next three countries on the list is baffling. I'd have expected them, all three of them, to be much, much higher. It's Qatar, South Korea, and Argentina are all at like number 54, 55, or 56. So they're like very mid when it comes to car ownership.
That's interesting. Qatar should be. Argentina, I can understand. Argentina,
I would
they
have
have the
expected at
subway and
least
everything.
Qatar.
Qatar should be like. What about the
Yeah.
Emirates?
Bahrain is even lower than Qatar. Bahrain is number 59.
And Emirates,
And the Emirates
like,
has not even appeared yet. Yeah.
I mean, Emirates should be almost number one.
It feels like it should be. It
It
does
should
feel
be.
like it should be.
I
But
mean,
I
the
haven't seen
parade
it
of
yet.
cars is unprecedented. They
Exactly.
should be number one.
65 and 66, Mexico and Brazil. Just ahead of Georgia and Israel.
Interesting. They
Here we
cannot
go.
be
UAE
compared.
at 70. UAE at 75.
That is,
Oh,
must be
okay. So
something
this is
wrong.
why the UAE is supposed to be much higher. They have about 635 cars per 1,000 people. But the reason they didn't put it in the top of the list, near the top of the list there, is because the data is old. Most of the data we've been reading has been from like 2022 to 2024. The UAE,
old.
the last data that's available is 2016. So that's why they didn't put it in the list. But in 2016, in other words, 10 years ago, it was 635 cars per 1,000 people in the UAE. Okay.
So we can say for sure that they are higher.
Yeah.
Much higher.
And yeah. Yeah. The same is happening. Similar things are happening with Russia, Turkey, and Macau. There are similar weirdnesses going on there
Yeah.
with their numbers. The numbers doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, Russia, you can kind of, the number that they have is actually very similar than UAE. It's 631 cars per 1,000 people. Turkey is 574. And Macau is almost 700 cars per. But all of this data seems a little bit iffy to me. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't
quite like
sound. I
that.
mean, I will definitely judge the numbers from Russia.
Yeah.
100%.
If you are living in the city in Bogota, you're paying $450 a month for some small space to live in, right?
Yes.
If you do the math and you budget $5 a meal for every meal for a month, $5 a meal, okay? That's $450. You're at 900 already. You don't have a TV, you don't have any bills, you don't have anything. You're just eating and staying
Yeah.
at
Basically.
900.
Yep.
And, uh, that's really mad.
Yeah.
There are couples with children in South Africa that live quite comfortably that don't earn $900 a month. Like,
I really don't
like
understand
how
how
is
that
that
works.
possible? I don't understand.
I really
Even
don't
me, it
understand.
baffles me. I cannot understand it. It does not compute. It just doesn't. I
I
said
mean,
this to you last night. It baffles me. I don't know. It baffles me. I don't get it.
I don't know. I guess it's the price for living in the capital city, maybe. Like,
This is the
I
capital
really
city.
don't know.
Pretoria is the capital city of South Africa.
I do know, but they're like for some reason they're different. I mean, We can we can do the
I
math.
can walk
I mean,
to the president's house from here.
yes, but
Literally.
it's not. It doesn't work here for some reason.
Don't understand. I don't. I do not. How does that compute? I mean, I get it, and people around me have been saying this. The older kind of white generation in South Africa, they understood this. I don't know how, but they knew how it worked somehow because they always said this. They always said, sometimes incredibly terribly racist things, like, but meaning that I would rather be, here in Africa than go to Europe for any reason.
But okay,
Like
the situation.
murdering, marauding criminal gangs, not a fucking problem. I'd rather deal with them than live in the first world. Why?
No,
I
I
couldn't
can
understand it
understand. I
growing
mean,
up.
let's not go too far. Remember when I had this opportunity to go to Malta that didn't go through, right? So if we do 1-1, 1,000 pesos, 1 euro, the 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 wage that I was gonna get was the minimum wage. It was 1,200 uh euros plus commissions, whatever. In the apartment, the cheapest one that I was able to get was 1,500. I was not able to pay. I was not able to work and live. I mean, actually, the
Exactly.
the man the man who
Exactly.
was hiring me had the audacity to tell me. He had the audacity to tell me, yes, if you get an apartment by yourself, that would be quite difficult to survive.
That's wild.
Yeah, and
And
he was
I
promising
don't
a wage plus
I
commission.
don't understand the economics behind this. People are really not competent anymore because if it becomes okay, if it costs you more to live, let's say in a place like Malta, if it costs you more to live than you can reasonably earn on your own,
Something wrong.
okay,
Yeah.
something is one very wrong, and that problem is people are just going to leave. Okay, they're just not going to work for you. They're not going to go out of pocket to support your business.
There is a reason why the foreigners that go there, like Colombians, Venezuelans, like Latin American in general, that goes, like once you start looking for a place to live, at least here in Colombia, they will give you a full room. There is literally
Mm.
very small offers that you can rent a bed. In Malta, it's extremely common. It's like you rent a bed in, it can be two or three in the same space. That is not even, that is not human, to be honest. Having a
Okay, but
room, it's already
anyway,
difficult.
that's what it is. Yeah, yeah. There's no other word for it.
I think one of the greatest things that has happened is the remote work, to be honest.
Mm.
Because with that, at least you can choose where to live and to choose a place like Tocancipá that we know is quite cheap and like manageable. It's in the middle of nowhere, but at least prices are okay, and the houses we saw today, they're not in a central city at all, but the price is okay for size, let's say, for size and quality. I, I, it's madness. It's madness.
It's a mad situation. It's a mad situation.
It's,
I and like I don't even know what to say. Like
no, there's
you
nothing to
can't
say.
If you're in a situation like that where it's literally costing you more to work than you're earning, then where your salary cannot cover your basic living costs, even, you shouldn't be there.
True story. But I mean, let's say people
And
like
I
us
understand
that we
it's
have an
easier to say,
opportunity.
yeah,
Yes, but not everybody
but
has the
but
luxury.
honestly, I I would have a really hard time signing up for that in the first place. um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it's firstly, it's not healthy. Like, human
And
beings aren't
that's
supposed to live with that kind of stress, wondering uh, if I spend fucking $6 at McDonald's, am I going to be able to eat tomorrow? I mean, what the
nope,
fuck? That's
nope. There is
that's no way to live. That's
there is
no way to fucking
a
go.
like a joke they do, you know, that there is a reason why here in Colombia, like like adults, we still live with our parents when we have to. It's because there is not enough money for you to live alone. And when you finally independent yourself, you'll get your actual place. The joke is like now you will find out that you can live without eating because you need to pay the place you're going to live. So you will see how easy it will be eating one day yes and one day not, you know, and or maybe do a fasting, a new trend. I think that was a trend made for people who cannot pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it's a bad situation. There's nothing to say about it. It's like,
no,
and like
it
I
is
said
what it is.
right in the beginning, like, like uh, that's the matrix. It's the matrix. You are now just an energy source for someone else's pocket.
Yeah, and I mean we've
Oh,
seen it, and we are living it. It doesn't matter. Besides being super expensive, you still have to pay more to have the right to live. You know, it is.
yeah. And not even the right to live well. That's almost
Yeah,
out the window until you're wealthy. That's for other people, you know?
I mean, wealthy here is like stratospherical, like galactic way. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah.
but I mean, good thing is that it's not like just here. It's not general, but it's very common. I would say it's
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
change
it's getting
anytime
more and more
soon.
common, especially like we've been saying in the bigger cities. Um, Labor's just too cheap.
Yeah,
People need to move. People
yeah,
need to get out of the cities, man.
and it's not gonna
Don't do that
change
to
because
yourself.
there will be always somebody whose conditions in that city, even though if they're not the greatest ones,
No,
they
I
will work for
absolutely
them.
understand because it used to be a time when you could live a really nice, happy life in the city, have a really good time.
When that I
But
don't know
that's
that
not
time.
now.
I mean, I've
That's
lived all my
that's when
life in
we
the
were kids.
city.
All right,
I've never.
I saw pictures of the cities around here in the 70s, 80s, even in the 90s. So it used to be nice to live here. I'm hearing the stories that people tell about, famous buildings that are around town now that are now in areas that are literally run by criminal gangs. Okay, like
It's,
Nigerian gangsters hijack buildings in this city. Okay, but back in the day, they say it was wonderful.
I don't know. Probably yes. Probably yes. Uh,
And
I'm
I'm
not
sure it would have
sure.
been similar all over the developing world.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's just very strange, especially because I mean that's a common joke here as well. Like I'm not sure in South Africa, but in terms of job, of getting a decent job, doesn't matter. Like the joke starts like if you're out of school and you need a job, they will ask you for 10 years of like experiences. Like
Yes.
how am I gonna
Yes.
get experience if you don't get me a
Yeah.
job? And
The answer is simple,
after,
by the way. The answer is very simple. They want you to work for free for 10 years.
yes,
And then they'll think about giving you a job.
yes.
That's what they're actually saying. Okay?
And then here's the twist. Once you get your 10 years of experience and you get all the masters and specializations and everything, all the degrees they ask you, they said, oh, you're overqualified.
Yeah.
So we cannot pay
We
you.
can't pay this much for that position. Yeah.
So it's like, the Squid Game, right? They even made like a mini series about like the Squid Games in Colombia regarding the hiring process. It's like, let's play a game. Your challenge is to actually get a job, being like just out of school. It's very interesting.
My only advice: do not
Try.
participate in that. Don't. If you don't absolutely have to, and even if you do find a way out, don't participate.
No, I do agree. I do agree.
And the only way that changes is if and they're already in a position like where they're like, oh, we have massive staff turnover. We can't find people to fill our positions. People don't want to work. No, they don't want to work. You don't want to pay. People aren't going to pay to work for you. Okay, it's not that people don't want to work. People do want to work badly. They just don't want to work for free.
I have to agree. I have to agree. Like choose a little more, But I mean, it's a process. It's not gonna change anytime soon. Maybe with Gen Z will be better. Who knows? But anywho, Mister.
I mean, something's going to change. Like I say, something's going to change. It's not going to stay the same. It's going to either get worse or better. But it can't stay like this. This is not sustainable.
True story. Anyway, our time runs out. That was a very interesting conversation today, Mister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good job.
Yeah. So we will have you sometime in the future.
Cool.
Maybe somewhere in the Brazilian coast with a beer.
Thank you for watching. If you want to have access to the full episode and extra material, join us on Patreon. This is Cosecha Salvaje, Wild Conversations.